My boss called me replaceable, then begged me to return 2 weeks later. I worked as an operations manager at a mid-sized logistics company for almost 4 years. I wasn't perfect, but I ran things smoothly. I trained half the staff, handled client escalations, and practically lived at the office during the holiday rush. My boss, Richard, loved taking credit for my work. He'd brag to the board about streamlining logistics and building efficient systems when it was me pulling 70-hour weeks to make that happen. One Monday, after closing a huge client contract, I asked for a raise. Not a crazy one, just a fair adjustment after years of doing more than my title required. Richard looked up from his laptop, smirked, and said, "You're replaceable, Jake. Don't let your ego get in the way of your paycheck." That sentence hit harder than I expected. I'd sacrificed weekends, sleep, and even a relationship for that job, but hearing replaceable flipped a switch in me. I handed him a short letter of resignation right there. His expression shifted from smug to confused. "You're joking," he said. I wasn't. The next 2 weeks were chaos. For them, not me. I documented everything properly, handed off projects, and walked out with my head high. Richard barely said goodbye. The first week after leaving, I slept like a baby for the first time in years. I freelanced a little, caught up with friends, and started consulting for a smaller startup that appreciated my ideas. They even offered to bring me on full-time after just a week. Then came the call. "Jake, hey, it's Richard. Look, about before, things got messy after you left. The system updates aren't syncing. The new manager can't handle client renewals and, well, we could really use your help. Just temporarily." I almost laughed. 2 weeks ago, I was replaceable. Now they were begging for a temporary rescue. I stayed polite. "Sorry, Richard. I've already committed to another team. You'll figure it out," he sighed. "We can offer a 25% raise." I paused, smiled to myself, and said, "It's not about the money anymore. It's about respect. You should have realized that before I left." That's when he dropped the corporate mask. "Jake, you're making a mistake. You're burning bridges." I replied, "No, Richard, I'm just walking across one I built myself." A month later, my old company's biggest client moved their contract to the startup I'd joined. Apparently, they followed me. I never advertised where I went, but word travels fast when you're the person who actually gets things done. Richard sent one final email. "Congratulations. I hope there are no hard feelings." I never responded. I didn't need to. Success was the loudest answer I could give. But here's what really sealed the deal. 2 months later, I ran into one of my old coworkers, Lisa, at a networking event. She told me the place was falling apart. 3 employees quit because Richard started micromanaging every detail. Morale hit rock bottom. Their reputation for reliability had crumbled, and clients were pulling contracts one after another. Then she said something that stuck with me. "After you left, we realized you weren't just managing operations. You were the glue." That night, I thought about all those times Richard said, "Don't take things personally." The irony is, he took me personally when I stopped letting him exploit me. Now at the startup, my team values collaboration, not control. My new boss, Sam, treats feedback as growth, not defiance. Every Friday, he thanks everyone by name in our team meeting. It's a small gesture, but it's everything Richard never did. Last week, we landed a partnership with a national retailer, one that used to be Richard's client. He told them I was out of my depth. Turns out I was just out of his league. Sometimes karma doesn't come like thunder. Sometimes it's quiet success echoing in the halls of the place you left behind. When people show you what you mean to them, believe them the first time. I was replaceable until they learned how irreplaceable I actually was.